Welcome in, everybody, to another patch notes breakdown. This is going to be a little bit different of a format than what we've done with the previous ones. We are going to do 3 separate videos. The first one, which you're tuning into right now, is going to be a general change breakdown. The second episode will be a items change breakdown, and the third episode will be a god change breakdown, just to kind of alleviate the length of the video, and if you're looking for something a little bit more concentrated, just to make it easier for you to find. So first and foremost, we have the Season of Souls update here. This is 10.6. It's our third major update of the season for these season changes. And the first and foremost, let's talk about the skins that are coming. We're getting a tier 5 Fenrir skin. I know it kind of looks like it should be a Willish because it has a rider, but it is Fenrir in fact. We also have Spicy Ramen Raw, Angel of Chaos Cthulhu, which I do have to say looks absolutely sick, and then Little Charmer Cupid. What's specifically cool about these are part of the Color Forge event, and you can actually swap the dyes on these and change the colors of these skins. Along with that, we're also getting National Treasure Uller, Hot Rod Racer Soul, which looks absolutely insane. Great ability and effects on this. Shoutouts to doing a Soul skin on the Souls patch. We love that. And then a new Battle Pass, of course. Demonic Blade King Arthur looks sick. Soulhammer Vulcan looks really good. Shadow Spawn Loki, another Loki skin. I think it looks good. But then this Ruby Ravager Chernobog, the wings on it are absolutely insane. So shout out to the art team for those. That's kind of the breakdown of what's coming with the skins. I've already mentioned the Color Forge event. You can do quest tabs to unlock free Little Charmer Cupid skins, so you can get one of these skins for free. Obviously, if you just go the buy all option, you're going to get that along with the dyes as well. The Battle Pass this time will be 800 gems. 1,400 if you do the plus option, and this is going to be like last time. Last time we had the recolors. There's not going to be recolors this time around. We're going to have the 4 skins, and due to feedback, they're going to have additional chests instead of the skins this time around. So keep an eye out for those. Some quality of life changes. Those dyes to change the god colors for the Color Forge event, and the RuneScape capes can now be actually selected in the God Select menu. So if you select a god, you select the skin, you have a little tab that'll say dyes or capes, and you can go through there and select those. Obviously, we have some general bug fixes here. Not going to go too crazy into those, but I will say, please, 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 Hi-Res, make it to where my UI does not reset after I spectate a game. As a caster, it is an absolute bane of my existence, having to reset my whole entire UI. Other than that, let's talk about the general game changes that are coming. This first one is more general, and then we're going to talk about some conquest-related ones that are a little bit more focused on that. So the first and kind of craziest mechanic being added to Smite with this patch is called Soul Surges. And what a Soul Surge does is when a god dies, it spawns a giant AoE. This AoE is going to last 30 seconds. It's going to last, if you get additional kills in that ring, it's going to make it last an additional 15 seconds. We'll get there momentarily, but this is going to give you movement speed to all the gods in it. It's going to buff damage to low health gods. There's a spirit minion that spawns you can kill for golden XP. It also attacks nearby gods. So really interesting idea. It's going to kind of promote fighting, but also make you realize hey, maybe I don't want to be here to make this circle last longer and then, help out the enemy. Some really interesting mechanics around this from playing PTS. But the initial duration is 30 seconds. Additional deaths increase the radius by 10 and increase the duration by 15 seconds, and it caps at 4 deaths after the first. So 5 deaths in total. It respawns 2 minutes later. So any deaths that happen from the end of the Soul Surge to the next 2 minutes don't cause another one. You have to wait a full 2 minutes out. But if you die during this effect in any game mode other than Conquest, it cuts your death timer in half, which is pretty sick. So the actual buff is going to be 50% move speed, and then while below 50% health, so while you have less than half of your health, all basic attacks and abilities you hit enemy gods with will apply a burn that deals 2% of your current HP every 0.5 seconds for 2 seconds. And this is going to be 4 ticks in total. And then I already mentioned the dying part. There's the Soul Surge Spirit. It's a new minion type. Its lifetime is 15 seconds, so you do want to kill it. It can aggro to Phoenix. I saw this last night, and the Phoenix will attack it, so keep an eye out for that. Along with that, since this kind of prevents, or I guess entices kind of like a snowball mechanic, they did go ahead and, adjust shutdown nerfs down. And then they did some assault changes on the general side that people are going to be really happy about. Cthulhu is no longer a tier 3 healer. Shiva is no longer a tier 3 healer. And Ishel is no longer a tier 3 healer. She has been moved to a tier 2 healer. But the first two, their ults are the only thing that had healing capabilities, so they went ahead and removed them from the tiers. They will no longer be counted as a healer at all, which is pretty sick, if you ask me. For some conquest changes, this is our big map change. There's several things going on here. The art is going to be a lot darker. It's Season of Souls. I haven't been on the solo side of the map too much, but I know on the duo side, it's really cool because it's like the river Styx, and you see skeletons and stuff carrying coffins, and it's really, really cool artwork. The art team just did such a great job with this. There are some geometry changes. The mid lane is going to be a little bit wider, and it's going to shift closer on the solo side while allowing new pathing to the Gold Fury pit. The red and blue camp pathing has also been adjusted for quicker rotations between the camp and nearby lanes. There's also a new macro or capture mechanic called the Stygian Beacon. This is a capture point style thing that spawns at 12 minutes. The more people that are in the ring, it charges for them rather than the other team. And then it'll activate 3 times each match. So once you get the Stygian Beacon, you get a buff. And this buff is stackable. But this buff is going to grant you an extra 5% damage to structures and Unleash Titans, and 1% additional move speed per stack, up to 3 stacks. So that's going to be pretty good. It's going to feel really, really nice. That's 4 gold per minute of match time, 5 XP per minute of match time, and golden XP are awarded to all 5 players equally, regardless of their proximity to the capture point, which is roughly 48 gold and 60 XP to all players capturing the first beacon. Here's the beacon capture rules. The first one spawns at 12 minutes. It's right outside the mid lane. So mid lane's a little bit wider, and if you think about where the Harpy pit was, basically there's a smaller wall there, and then you have the Stygian Beacon area, the Harpy / Oracles, and then Gold Fury Pit. So there's just an area in there where the beacon spawns. After the first one's captured, another one will spawn 6 minutes later. After that one's captured, another one will spawn 6 minutes later. And after the third one is captured, you get Unleash Titans. Obviously, the more people that are in the ring, the faster it caps, so you do want to have more people there if possible. Unleash Titans are a new mechanic where the Titans become unleashed from the base, and they run down the lane that has the highest structure health. They have 2 new attacks during this time. They'll meet in the middle of that lane unless you kill one before they reach the middle, and they will push that lane until they die. Is basically how it works. Then they go back to base. They don't lose health or anything like that. They just help a giant siege minion from Slash. They're doing that, except they just are a lot tankier and they do a lot more damage. So keep an eye out for that. I've played a bit with it yesterday on PTS. I think it felt pretty good. It didn't really swing one game either way. It definitely helped during one of the games, but that's because we all kind of inted at the same time and died. So keep an eye out for this. I think it's a cool game change mechanic. Obviously, offering more macro play to the map, which is something I think has been needed in Conquest specifically, because Conquest has been kind of lacking in my opinion. But these are the general changes that we've seen. There are some Conquest changes I'll mention here, where Fire Giant now will respawn every 5 minutes, and the buff will last 4 minutes instead. They did go ahead and decrease power on buffs because of, obviously, there's a power nerf across the board in this patch. We'll talk about in the item change video, so keep an eye out for that. Titans have decreased health by about 750, and they decreased the scaling of health and structures by 100. Towers and Phoenixes also got some nerfs there. They increased damage reduction on T1 from 15 to 25%, and then decreased the health by 300. And then the damage, or power, I guess, physical prots, magical prots to 50 and 30 respectively. And we see these nerfs across the board. Pyromancer, they increased the base team gold from 70 to 85. I already think Pyromancer's the better early objective, so this just makes it more enticing. They increased the base XP of Oracles from 40 to 50, and the gold rewards from 33 to 38. Shield buff Scorpion, cooldown Scorpion got XP and gold buffs. Mid Harpy has got XP and gold buff, but they also pushed their timer from 130 to 1 minute flat. And then they decreased the gold reward on the red buff, the yellow buff, the purple buff, and the blue buff, or no, the Cyclops chest. They decreased the gold as well. So that's your general changes and your conquest changes before heading into items, which will be the next video. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what changes of these you like. Was there changes you hope to see? Do you think these are game breaking in any of the modes? What are your thoughts heading into patch 10.6? Let me know. Also, check out Battlegrounds of the Gods, a Smite podcast, and my podcast, Up Your Experience podcast, whenever you get a chance. Take it easy, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!